in terms of bringing out some of those changes. As we move forward, I would like to recognize Senator John Hoffman, which is from District 36 of Brooklyn Park. So the floor is yours.
I had to go ha 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 to the folks that are from the lower chamber, the House members. And Chris, Sean, and Lenny can laugh. That's supposed to be funny, but my wife reminds me I'm not funny, so don't try to be funny. But I did notice, you know, Dr. Vang, thank you. You and I both got the message. It is a new year. You know, right? It is New Year. It is New Year. So I talked to Fawn. First of all, Fawn here is on his way to Kansas City. He's taking his dad, and he said to make sure he says this. Thank you. Early on, when he was thinking of running, you were the first to come and support him and really help him get connected and help him really realize what he's doing and what he's about. And he is a senator that is now ascended to an assistant minority leader, right? And one of the things we have to remember, we're a part-time legislature, so family's got to come first, right? And so I said, absolutely, I will send a message to you on your behalf and wish your father well. And so the other thing that comes to mind is when you're talking about engagement, you're talking about social justice, when you're talking about getting together, when you're talking about valuing people, it's all about real estate. Not the kind that E. Michael Tower is developing down in Oklahoma, right? I'm glad you guys are laughing still. But what's the one rule of real estate? Who's our real estate agent here? Susan Fogg, right? Location, location, location. In public policy and in politics, it's about relationship, relationship, and relationship. Those three things. And don't ever forget that. So I'm glad that you mentioned not only a past priority, but a secondary priority. It's always going to be a priority. And with that, I'm going to offer my office, and I offer Senator Fong hers office, as an access point within the Senate. And I'm sure our members of the House are saying the same thing. Now I get to speak for 45 minutes, you guys, right? Okay. Yeah, I'll be close. But the thing there is, it's about that access and that relationship. Become friends with the people that you have in elected office, right? They are you, you are them. Right? They get up in the morning, they make their coffee or decaf or drink their Coca-Cola, or for some of us, what's that one? Yurlo. That stuff that gets you in trouble, right? You don't want to start your morning out with Yurlo. But what you want to do is to be able to have that relationship. And here's what happened. In 2012, when I was elected to the Minnesota Senate, I got to be housed right here in this Capitol, which, by the way, this is your house, right? This room is evident of your house. This ceiling never existed, didn't know there was a skylight here. When we did the renovation on this Capitol, some things just popped up that we knew never existed. The Supreme Court hidden dining room for 60 years, didn't even know it existed in the basement, but it's there. There's hidden gophers, there's hidden M's, there's so many things enriched in this building that have a history to Minnesota. And that history of Minnesota is what we're about here, right? We're all here. And I think about that, and what got me to be friends with Senator Fong Her in the very beginning was when I heard his story of coming to Minnesota. It reminded me listening to my grandfather, who in 1914 was kicked out of the Soviet Union. He watched his family get killed, and he got on a boat and they literally came over here, settled in North Dakota of all places, but came to Minnesota. And the stories he would always talk about wanting to not know about the past, only want to look to the future, was not okay, right? Because there was so much hurt there. But that hurt, he turned to good things. And I think about when I met Senator Fong Her and I heard the stories of why things weren't being recognized, especially with the Lao Hmong, when it came to the Special Guerrillas Unit, when it came to fighting that secret war. I had to be a voice for that, and I helped Fong Her, and I absolutely, sitting down with many, many, many meetings to get the Lao Hmong Memorial right here, the first state in the nation to have a huge memorial outside of its capital. That was such an honor to work on, but it told the story of why we're here and what we're about. That's a relationship building piece. And that relationship goes to another part. In this past 2 years ago, Senator Fong Her wanted to value the day of the Vang Pao Day. and he could not get a hearing anywhere. So he decided to take this bill up on the Senate floor, not knowing he was going to have any support on it. And he was getting up and he was giving this plea about why this day is so important to the 72,000 people that live in Minnesota. And I watched this bill start to die on the Senate floor. Literally, the wheels of that bus were falling off and off and on. I went over to my friend, who happens to be my report, the front page. There's a guy named Senator Jim Avery, who's a House member. He's a Republican, right? Relationships, you guys. Doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. When it comes to human rights, when it comes to violence, when it comes to education, when it comes to health and human services, set your ego outside in the hallway and focus on what's important, right? And so I looked at Jim Avery and he said, we can't let this die, right? Because it was. There were people popping up left and right, and if there would have been a vote, you were there. If there would have been a vote, that bill would have gone tanked. So Senator Avery and I went around, and we worked hard to start getting people. We started getting the motion. And when we finally saw that wheels of the bus start to go back on that bus, I leaned up against the wall, and I'll never forget, I said to you, our work is done, this thing's going to pass. And it passed. And now what do we have? We finally recognize a day in Minnesota that belongs to what the general, when he brought 72,000 people here, right? Well, 72,000 now. And that's what Minnesota's about, right? Minnesota is about that. Is it perfect? Nope. It's not perfect, you guys. That's why you exist. That's why your leadership council exists. That's why we as elected officials exist. Because that relationship, you should be coming to us first. You should be coming to us saying, this is what we need to change. And we as elected officials need to listen to that and help guide in how it's going to be, right? So I gave you two little examples of how relationships actually do mean a lot and make a difference in how bills are made and how things are done in Minnesota. And so I offer you my office. It's wide open. My door is always wide open, right? And some of you should have my cell phone. If you don't, I'll give it to you. But it's, matter of fact, you can write it down. 763-245-7562. I stole that from Governor Mark Davey. He said, look, when you get a hold of me, here's my cell phone. I couldn't believe it.
It's international now.
It's now international, right? So that's there, that's part of it. So thank you for your diligent work. Thank you once again on behalf of Hmong. Thank you for being there to support it early on. Again, I'm going to tell you this, access our office, access our points. If you're looking for it about public policy, we're absolutely there to be helping you mentor that or to be an advocate with you to align ourselves with that. So thank you. Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you for being here. Hi, everybody back home, and I think I got about everything else. And so, thank you, my esteemed legislators.